Is Wednesday, June the 23rd, 2021. And tonight is me, your host, Gam, along with Mr. Brandon, aka Baby Boy Eley from Portsmouth. So, Brandon, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Let me see here. My name is Brandon. Everybody knows me as Baby Boy. I've been a DJ in the area for 24 years.
Wow, long time.
I've been a coach and mentor for 18 years. Basically, I'm out here trying to help kids. I've been a lot of places and done a lot of things, and I try to teach them to not make the same mistakes I did. So, that's what I'm here for. God has a plan for me. I try to follow God's steps, do for the community.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. You just said a mouthful with that. Like I told you before, I actually, well, I don't know if I did tell you or not. I have been watching you for a while and just sit back looking and just seeing how you're moving and what you're saying. And excuse me, it all adds up. And that's why I wanted to have a sit down with you, for a few minutes to just chop it up to see, basically like what's going on with you. Like, I understand that you're very passionate about the kids. So yes. What drives that passion as far as the kids is concerned?
I always tell people, I never thought I'd be here dealing with kids.
Okay.
But God had a plan. And I look at the DJ and he was setting me up, putting me on a platform to prepare me for the kids. Mm-hmm. And so I use my platform and try to help as many kids as possible. But I never knew I would be a mentor.
And why you say that?
I was shy. I was always shy. I wouldn't talk. When I used to DJ, I wouldn't say nothing.
Hold on now. How you gonna be a DJ but you don't talk?
I would never. I used to work for a company.
Okay.
And the boss would say, "You have to say something."
Right. That's right.
And when I used to DJ, the people just used to dance. So I say, "Let the music talk."
That's funny. That's funny. So like I said, like I did my little homework on you or whatever, and I understand you have a mentoring program as well.
Yes.
So how did you start that, or why did you start that?
Well, I had got in some trouble, and it was actually going to help a kid. And what happened was, when I was sitting in jail, it was an older guy. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't put me in the population. They said I would cause a riot because I was well known.
Wow.
So they didn't want to put me with everybody. They put me in a room with this elderly man. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of people trying to come get me out. They didn't want my parents to know because I had two good parents. They didn't even know what I was doing. And the older guy says, if you have that kind of power to do something negative and people follow you, try doing something positive and watch how many people follow you. So, as soon as I got out, that's what I went to the rec center that next day.
The next day.
And started talking to kids.
Now, do you feel as though that was God's way of talking to you then?
Yeah. Nobody never thought. I have two good parents.
Mm-hmm.
My parents been married for 49 years. So you wouldn't think it would come out of me.
Okay.
But, the area we grew up in and the guys I was around, major influence. And I got caught up in a lot of craziness. And it kind of woke me up to see the power I had with what I was doing, DJing.
Right.
So a lot of people wanted to be like me, a lot of kids. I want to DJ. I want to be like you. So it kind of flipped me,
So you started DJing at an early age?
Yes, 12.
At 12. So
yes.
did you know what you were doing when you started, or you just kind of learned, as you went along?
I believe it was God given, because I never learned from nobody. It was just I picked up one day from I was hanging in parties at a young age, and the DJ had to use the bathroom, and somebody got to change the song.
Wow.
And nobody would do it. So I said, "Oh, I'll do it." Okay. And when he gave me one of the hottest songs out, he said, just push the play button and move this over here.
Okay.
And when I played the song, the crowd went crazy, and I was like, "Oh, I like this." So ever since then, that's what I was doing.
That's what you was doing. Now, I understand you say you were in some trouble. So, are we free to talk about like what type of trouble you were in?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, what were you actually doing?
So it was actually a situation where a lot of the younger kids looked up to me because I was like a role model to them. One of the kids called me and say some grown man jumped them at school.
Grown men.
Grown men.
Wow.
So with me being the guy they look up to, I said, well, I have to do something. So that night I called up all my guys and we went out the neighborhood to get the guys. And what happened was one of the guys in my car shot the gun, which brought the attention from the police. And what happened was we ran in another neighborhood with the car and the undercover cops was in that neighborhood. So they took us down, me and one of my friends. I had 5 guys in that car. To this day, 2 of those guys in the car, one is dead, one is doing 44 years in prison.
44 years.
At the age of 16. And so I looked at it like God was talking to me.
He was covering you then.
Yes. Because I could have went down in a major way. And it was like, I'm still here,
Right. So you always have kind of looked out for the kids or been one of the questions I wanted to ask you is like, how do you do it? Like when a child comes to you and says, that God forbid they somebody was shooting last night and they, and they don't want to live, that they don't want to be there or they're afraid. Like, what state of mind do you be in when a child comes to you like that?
It's kind of rough because growing up in Portsmouth, I was used to it. Okay. The bullet holes, my house, my front window was shot out and the bullet exploded in my couch. I believe I was 7 years old and it scared us so bad. My dad just recently told me that he was crawling on the floor to see what happened. And, it was multiple shootings. And, I never understood it growing up. Why they shoot guns like that? But when I heard kids, I understand their pain. So it's like, you really don't have no answer. You can't save them. I can't take them out of the household. And it's just rough,
Yeah, I can only imagine because if a child is coming to you like that and you're like, it kind of puts you between a rock and a hard place.
Yes, it does.
It's like you want to react, you want to do something, then it's like you can't do because then it's like, you'll be in trouble or maybe hurt. Yeah. And I can only imagine, how you feel. And I don't know what I would do if I was in that predicament. Yeah, like right. Honestly. But so what is it for the kids in Portsmouth to do?
Well, we had a situation now where when I started mentoring, I had a mentor that told me to study kids, study their behaviors. Okay. I didn't understand why he told me that. So when I started to study, I understood the behaviors, where it comes from and their reactions and why they do certain things. And it's like in the city I live in, they took everything.
Wow.
So to a kid, it's like, it's no hope. You take out parks, the rec centers look like they did when I was a kid.
So no technology, type of upgrade or anything.
No upgrades. I take a lot of kids to other cities and they think they in a college when they see these rec centers. And it's kind of like 11 years ago, I sat down and had a meeting with, a lot of people from the city that was doing work. And I asked them to fix things up, bring the after school programs back. When you don't do nothing, this is the result. The kids killing each other. So we stuck now,
So why aren't they, give me the outcome of the meeting. When you guys sat down and had the meeting, what was the outcome?
Nothing. Something that comes with bad kids? Money. kids going to prison, kids getting suspended from school to prison pipeline. That's money involved. Grants, people getting grant money for kids. It's always money. So if you're not taking the money, doing what you need to do with it, and it's like the kids suffer. And the kids want things. They come to me, oh, baby boy, why we don't have a new rec center?
Right.
Why don't we have new technology? And it's like it deters them from wanting to do better. And what they knew now in the city is picking up guns. And
them type of guns that they actually have it's military style. But we're gonna hold on to that. We got a question. Go ahead, Miss Go Getter.
So, question for you, baby boy. So, with your mentorship program, and what are some of the things that you are trying to implement in the city for the kids?
Well, my program has always been free. I was always willing to help. I have volunteered many days in the schools. I remember one year I was in the school system for a whole year, volunteering the whole day. And I try to get them at a young age. Right. You know, once they get to that teenage, you know, it's rough. And I would go to the rec centers. I go in the neighborhoods. I hand out snack bags. I get the kids' attention. And it's just like when you have no help, you're going to get these results.
Right. You know? So when you grab their attention, when you gave them their snack bags and stuff like that, what were some of the things you actually talked with them about?
Like if I see a kid that I know is doing wrong, and I had a conversation with them. What's going on? Do you play sports? That's my number one with young men. A lot of them want to play sports, but mom don't have the money.
Right.
So I would go to, we're going to pay for it. Don't worry about that. I just need you to get good grades in school and respect your mom.
Right.
And I pay for it. You know, I get people join in. And I've been doing this for years, and it saved a lot of young men in the city. And I just watch it how if you keep them busy, you don't have to worry about them.
Right.
You know?
Right. Because if they don't have anything to do, it's like an idle mind.
Yeah.
So they have to release somewhere.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's in a negative way.
Yeah.
And with these type of weapons that these young guys and some girls too are carrying, it's like military style.
Yes.
And it's so strange because a couple of weeks ago I had made a post and I asked our viewers, basically it was if your child gets in trouble, who is to blame? Are you to blame? Yeah. Or, somebody else to blame? And we had a lot of people that actually said that, that it case by case depends on, what the issue was. But I found it very strange because a lot of times because I used to work in the prison system, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of them came from places where it's sad to say, but they didn't have a chance from the environment that they grew up in, and then not being educated or not having someone to pour into them. It was like they were doomed.
Yeah.
But you can't play. I just feel like sometimes you can't play the blame game on somebody else. Yeah. You got to take accountability too. Yeah. So it's just one of those things. It's kind of strange. But I know, like here in Suffolk, I know they're about to start back up the Boys and Girls program. So, Portsmouth, like all surrounding cities, you have to give the kids something to do, because if not, you're going to run amok. But then listen to what you just said about the kickback that they get from when kids are out here doing certain things. It's like, oh, I want y'all to act the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because you're going to go to jail and we're going to get paid.
Nice mansion. Nice yacht. I think it was, I was studying about it. I don't remember the year, but it was $8 billion made off of kids going to jail.
Oh, wow.
It's a lucrative business.
That's sickening and what they do with the kids, they medicate them.
Oh yeah,
Kids
most
say
definitely.
I'm hearing voices. Oh well, we got a plenty medication for you.
Mm-hmm.
So then it comes, we gotta have a therapist for you. That's more money. Then we gotta have the medication. That's more money. Then we gotta put you in programs. That's more money. Everybody's getting a check.
Yeah.
But the kid stays the same.
Yeah.
That's just sick, man.
That's true. So we got a question. Go ahead, Miss Go Getter.
Okay, we have a question from a viewer. Do you go into the courts and speak up for a child if they get in trouble, baby boy?
Yes. Yes, I have no problem. I just got a kid out of something. The judge actually said, I trust you with baby boy.
Wow.
And
So how did that make you feel when the judge said that?
I was happy because the kid had a lot of charges. And it was like, if they charged that kid as an adult, he would do some years in prison.
Right.
And for a judge to say, I trust you with baby boy, it kind of did something to me.
I'm sure it did, but at the same time, didn't it put more pressure on you too, though?
It's kind of like easy because, like I said, God is behind it.
Okay.
I said, God, I know what you're doing,
right?
But I need a little guidance.
I need a little help here.
He take care of everything.
But now, with the young man, do you feel as though that he will go back, and get in trouble? You think so?
It's kind of like I tell single mothers, it's a lot to do with the environment. If a kid walks out his door and all he see drug dealers, prostitutes, dice games, murders, gangs, what do I expect from him? That's just like they say when you hang with somebody, you start to act like them. Right. So I can't blame a kid for being surrounded by it and thinking different. And I tell a lot of mothers, y'all pump a lot of stuff into y'all kids and y'all don't know it.
Most
a lot of kids get their attitudes from mommy.
From the way they being treated and handled too.
Yeah, mommy. So it's kind of rough. I hate putting kids back into that situation. I would rather take a kid, and at one point, I believe the third year I started the mentoring group, I wanted a 24-hour recreation center. Okay. That takes funds. Where parents would sign a paper saying, okay, the kid can stay the whole night. Mm-hmm. That way, I got activities for you to do. I know where you're sleeping at. I don't have to worry about you. Right. And, it never worked out.
So have you ever tried to open up, thought about opening up a house to whereas, you can, start with a certain amount of kids and then, get the funding and stuff that you need for that, get the curriculum and everything. So because you want to keep them engaged and involved and being able to teach them different social skills and stuff too, because I think that's what they're lacking at. Yeah. And like you said, if that's all they know, then that's what they're going to do. Oh, yeah. But on the flip side of that, you have one or two, maybe three or four that come out and make a conscious decision to do something different. Yeah. So again, it goes back to the individual as well. If I grew up around, like you said, prostitutes or whatever, and I know I don't want to get paid just for $40. I'm worth more than $40. So, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna have to go to another block then because this $40 ain't getting it. But either way, you have to make a decision as what you want your life to be. But but let's get back to the house. Did you ever think about doing that? Starting off something small, even in your own home?
We wanted to start it, but at the time, with me, it's like I have dealt with thousands of kids. Okay. And to hear the stories, being raped and molested. Wow. And I don't really, when it comes to me, I know my actions. But when you hear the stories of so-and-so youth group or youth home, so-and-so was touched. So I looked at it like I would have to be there all times. Because I don't know what's going on in people's minds.
As far as a liability.
And if you do
Right.
something in my name on it,
Right.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things that you have to go back to God, for, and of course seek guidance, and if that's what He wants you to do or whatever. But it was just a suggestion that I had. But I just don't know. It's just so much going on with the youth now. It's like, sometimes even talking with some of the parents is worse, because it's like, sometimes you can hold a conversation with a child if you catch them right in the middle, versus trying to talk to the parent.
Yeah.
You're like, damn, I see why the hell he acting like this. Like, she, and I guess it's, a product of your environment, I guess. I don't know, but it's just sad. It's
the apple don't
very
fall
sad.
far.
No, it doesn't, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
it is, because I think a lot of times when the parents act a certain way or do a certain thing, you have to realize, like, you have your kids coming behind you, and they're watching what you see, and that's why a lot of them have a lack of respect for the parent in the home, because, like you said, behind closed doors, they know what's going on. Mm-hmm. To you, when they see you, it's like, oh, baby boy, he this, and baby boy, he that. But when them doors shut, Lil Duke and them really getting it. Because she's frustrated. She's feeling some type of way about her own life and, situation she's in. So it's just unfortunate. But, I commend you for hanging in there, for even, wanting to do it. Like, do you ever get, like, tired or stressed about it?
All the time. Dealing with parents cussing you out. It's just rough. I had dealing with baby daddies, thinking I'm sleeping with the mamas. It's just rough.
That's just ignorant.
Yes, and I have guys come at me, and I tell them the same thing. If you use that same energy and worry about your son or your daughter,
that's right,
they'll be fine. They wouldn't need a mentor.
Right. Right. And that's the thing. And you're exactly right, because if they're doing all that they can do, and then with your assistance and whomever else that can help, then it's a team effort. Yeah. It's definitely a team effort. So like you said, if you take that time and energy to put into your child versus trying to knock on somebody else's door, like, that's crazy. But we got a question.
Okay, so baby boy, with your mentorship program, and you also said that you was a motivational speaker. Are you getting assistance from the city or the school system with any of these programs, or do the parents have to give you I wouldn't say a fee, but maybe a donation? Like, how are you maintaining, and what kind of help are you getting?
I always kind of took from what I do on a regular basis. I took the money out of that. Me DJing and my photography. I always took from that. I have people that donate. And we was just fussing about that a few weeks ago. Why the city never helped us.
Right.
They seen what we was doing. It never was no help. And when things are to the point now, here they come. They need us. But like I told them, it's too late. The generation now believes in killing someone and bragging about it.
Right.
If you look at the generation, if you go on YouTube, you will find videos of guys that go to a grave site and brag about who's dead. I'm smoking on so-and-so. And so this is what you see now in the world. It's about getting a like. When they go shoot up neighborhoods, they go on Instagram and brag about it. And I say to myself, this is what it is. It's everything now is about a like.
That's a dangerous person, though.
Yeah.
Because jail doesn't scare them.
No.
And shot at is excitement to them.
Yeah.
So that's a very dangerous person.
Right, but that's also a person that lacks self-love
Yeah.
and direction, because they're seeking love from people who don't really care by bragging about stuff that's kind of ridiculous. So it makes you wonder, okay, are they liking and laughing at you or with you?
Yeah.
And most of the time it's at them versus with them. But you know, that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I don't know. It's sad, but like you said, like if somebody is doing that into those type of activities, I don't know if I would say that it's too late. I would say that for some of them, yeah, some of them, just like a bus. Everybody's sitting out at the bus stop, right? You turn around, you talking. The bus is on a schedule.
Yeah.
So you may miss that bus by the time you turn around if you don't turn around on time.
Oh yeah.
And catch that bus. So it's gonna be some people that are left behind.
Yeah.
But for those who are willing to put in the work, or those who are willing to catch the bus, those are the ones that we get. And I do understand when you were saying catch them at a young age, about 6 or 7.
Ain't younger than that.
Younger than that?
I had a 9-year-old with an AK.
A 9-year-old?
Yes, the gun bigger than him.
If he would have, I could tell you this, if he would have picked that gun up to point it, he would have fell back.
It's crazy.
First of all, because he wouldn't be able to put it in his pocket or anything. He would have been bruised and everything.
The gun bigger than him. Like, it's just crazy. But these are the things. And what he told me, he stayed with his grandma. Grandma can't walk. I gotta protect myself.
Where is he? Okay, where are they getting these guns from? It has to be an adult. How can an adult sleep at night knowing you gave a 9-year-old who can't even really probably cut their sandwich?
It's the mindset. A 9-year-old is gonna shoot you
without a shadow of a doubt.
And he wouldn't hesitate. So he's the protection of the older guys now.
Because he have no sense of fear.
It's a game, yeah.
Oh hell no!
It's a game.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
And that's why you have the kids standing up, talking to the teachers any type of way, punching them and everything. It's no way in the world I could be sitting in the classroom, because you can't hit them back, and then
I grab you. Like I be telling them, teacher, look now, I'm not gonna allow y'all to suspend these kids, but some of these young boys need to be grabbed. I ain't hurting them. Come here.
Yeah, but some of them you gotta grab them the right, baby boy, because these young, they high strung.
Yeah.
They not having it. It's just I just don't know, and I feel for the parents. I feel for those. I feel for myself sometimes too, because it's like you could be riding in your car and accident happens, and these teenagers now are killing each other, killing the adults like it's nothing.
Yeah. It's rough. And they don't care. They'll brag about that, hitting innocent kids. I got me a body. Huh.
So I was looking at one of your videos a couple of weeks ago, and you said something that struck me, and you said that you wasn't gonna no longer vote.
Yeah.
That was kind of strange, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because being that you are a very influential person, and people do listen and look up to you in your city, it may cause someone else to follow you, and it may not be that way for them. They may feel as though whomever they are voting for may actually be able to pull off what they're in need of.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes I think we got to kind of be like careful what we say, and I'm learning that too, because people are looking, they're listening. So how do you like? What was your mindset during that time, and is it still the same?
Yes, it's still
the same.
I believe it's kind of rough, because I understand how the system goes. I understand that most blacks in charge are just a body.
You think so?
It's always somebody that controls that person. And that's just like the president. The president has a boss. And people don't believe it, but yes, the president has a boss. And
The chief commander
yes,
has a boss.
has a boss.
And who is that?
Somebody you'll never know. You know,
Wow.
somebody you will never know the decisions they make. And like I tell people, you know, if you're black and you know what it is for what we go through, and you get a position of power and you follow the agenda, it's repeated. It has been repeated for many years. And when you have a black politician that steps up and goes against the agenda, they bring up criminal charges. And so I understand why a lot of black politicians follow the agenda. And so what you have in Portsmouth is years of neglect. Okay. And I have begged them. I say, I know what it was growing up. And my friend was murdered. That's when I started drinking. That's when I started smoking weed. That's when I picked up all those guns. So I understand these kids.
Right.
When the murder rate right now, 37 murders.
For 2021?
2020.
Oh, 2020. Okay. That's still a big deal, though.
37 murders. And it was like back to back to back. These kids I've coached, kids I know. And it's like a sport now in the city. And there was nothing never done. And right now we have majority black politicians in leadership. Mm-hmm. And I say to myself, have not one time, I'm a person that feels the pain. Seeing a baby laying on the sidewalk. Seeing kids, 7-year-old girl murdered for nothing.
That's crazy. It
do something. I say, if you have a heart in your body, something you should say, we got to do something.
Right.
I have not, and they, you know, people come at me and they say, baby boy, you speak out about it. I say, I'm going to speak out about it because we had people fighting for us when we were kids. I say, if nobody says nothing about the murders, these kids growing up thinking this is the way we live. The good kids are going to pick up guns.
They're going to end up following suit, yeah.
And going to jail.
And the crazy thing is with the good kids that come from a good home, the thing with that is a lot of times they do it, especially like now, because they don't want to seem like the weak one. They do it for protection, yeah. You know. So it's like, damn, like sometimes you don't know which way to turn.
Yeah.
So when you were saying that some of the kids that you actually mentored, or, you know, the basketball and stuff like that out here committing these crimes, how did that make you feel? Like you have poured into this child, and now to see this child out here really throwing their life away, yeah. How did it make you feel?
It tears me apart. I can't blame them, because like I tell people, if you haven't been through something, you wouldn't know what it felt like. I felt the pain. My friend was murdered when I was in high school.
Right.
I understand what it feels like. My mama never seen me cry like that. And my mama would tell anybody, I think it broke him when it happened. Mm-hmm. I just went into this. We were cool kids. You know, I was DJing.
Right.
You know, I'm in the club when I'm 15. I'm having fun. They hated us because we had nice clothes, nice shoes. The girls wanted us. And when they murdered my friend, it just tore me apart. I said, this is the way of life. And so I picked up every gun possible. And I said, well, we going to war. That's right. What it is now. And, you know, it didn't hit me till I went to jail.
Now, did you know when your friend was murdered, did you know who did it?
Yeah.
And how do you feel about that person or persons?
My friend was 16. He was murdered by a 13-year-old.
A 13-year-old?
13-year-old.
Child.
Yeah. And this is what I go back to. This is Portsmouth. It's nothing new. This has been going on. I lost he's tattoo on my arm. You know, that's how bad it hurt me. And I tell people that they didn't do nothing then. What do you expect out of the city?
So when the kids are being murdered in the city, do the politicians come out? Do they,
No.
do the clergy come out and say like, hey, we need to do something?
No.
So nothing happens.
This is why I talk the way I talk. I told my mom, I said, why should I vote and they do nothing when babies dying? I don't care if you cold-hearted or what kind of heart you got in your body. When the baby die for no reason.
It seems like certain things should be off limits.
That's to us growing up, the OGs, that's off limits. Listen, you don't shoot no women and you don't shoot babies.
Right.
And now it's like, whatever.
Whatever and whomever.
If they there and get shot, oh well.
So with that being said, you're in the city, which you grew up in, which everybody knows you. You were sitting in your car and you almost lost your life as well.
Yeah.
So take us through that day or that night.
It's a spot that uses my speakers.
Okay.
So I drop the speakers off and set the stuff up, and then I come back at the end of the night and pick it up. So the spot usually closes at, at the time, 12:30 because they stop selling alcohol at 12.
Mm-hmm.
So usually by 1:00, everybody's gone. So this certain night I pull up, it's 1:00. I see everybody still out, club going on. And I pull to the side and I say, well, I'll just wait for everybody to come out. And they started letting out and I heard some fussing going on.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a gunshot. Growing up in Portsmouth, gunshot, all right, they shooting in the air. I'm still at my phone.
Right.
I ain't looking on Instagram. 2 seconds later, it's just like shots from everywhere. And so God saved me again. God told me to duck.
Right.
And soon as I ducked, the bullet came through my window. It won't like I was ducking anyway.
Right.
As soon as I ducked, it hit my window. Went through my headrest and went out through the other window. I looked up.
That's crazy.
And I got teary-eyed. I said, he did it again. And they just kept shooting. It felt like I was in a war. And I crawled out the side of my car and, it was a guy standing there with this long gun. And my heart just pumping. I'm like, it's me. A lot of people know me in the city. I'm like, it's me.
Died.
It's me. It's me. So, it did something to me. Like, still to this day, when it get dark, I'm shaking. Like, I'm looking around, jumpy.
So you almost had PTSD.
It's bad. And I don't tell people about it, but one of my friends seen it one night. And he was like, what's wrong with you? I was just like, it's dark.
Right.
I'm just jumpy, man.
That's crazy though. But that's your city and you love your city. So why are you still there? Why wouldn't you relocate to another city or something?
A lot of people ask me that. I have been offered jobs in other states, other cities. It's just home,
It'll always be home.
It's
home will always be home. You can go to North Carolina, you can go to Atlanta, California, wherever, and you can always come back home because guess what? Home will be just that, home. It will never change. Just like you said for the last couple of minutes, from when you grew up
to now
until now. However, it's just intensified more, because when we were growing up, yes, things were happening, but not as bad and rapidly as they're happening now. It's just crazy. So why won't you move?
What I'm gonna say is God.
Okay.
I was in an accident last year,
Mm-hmm.
January of 2020. I broke my neck and my back. They said I would never walk again.
Jesus.
And I was down for 3 months. And that whole 3 months, God was talking to me. And God said to me, son, I need you to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And the battle is in Portsmouth. That's where the fight is. It's like God telling me, I need you to go to war, son.
Right.
And I put you through the accident so you wouldn't be scared of nothing. I hit a church.
Wow.
And it's crazy because somebody was trying to get me.
I was trying to get you.
They had put something in my drink.
What?
And I kept having this dream while I was in. They, my people thought I was talking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He might have hit his head in an accident.
But it was all coming back.
Oh, come on. I said I was fine. I had a few drinks, but I was fine.
Right.
And so I just kept having this dream. And God, it was weird because this person was standing in the door when I woke up.
The one who you knew
in my dream, I had asked God to reveal him. I was in a hospital, and it was crazy because the machine went off.
Mm-hmm.
You know when your heart rate get crazy,
right? Getting excited.
Nurse come flying in the room. I'm sweating. She like, Mr. Eley, what's wrong? I said, somebody was in here.
Mm-hmm.
He said, wait, what's wrong with you?
Right.
She said, ain't nobody been in here. Somebody was standing at the door. Y'all let visitors in this lady? She said, no. What are you talking about? My mom, I started talking to him. So my boy was in the car with me.
Mm-hmm.
He told everybody. He was fine.
Right.
He said, I wouldn't let him drove if he was intoxicated.
If he wasn't good, right.
But I found out later on that it's a drug that they can put in your drink, but it don't kick in till you sit down. I don't sit down when I DJ. I sat down when I got in my truck. Kick in, I hit the church.
So when they give you that drug and it kicks in, what were they trying to take advantage of you?
I think they was trying to get. It was some stuff going. There was some threats out for me.
Okay.
I was helping somebody. They was in a situation, and the message was, we got to get rid of baby boy. We got to get him out the way. I kept those messages in my phone. I never fear nothing. I know who God is.
Right.
I don't fear man, so it's kind of hard to take me down any kind of way. So I think the motive was to get that drug to kick in, and they jumped me. Mm-hmm. Beat me up real bad. And like I tell people, I'm connected with people that, when I was doing my mess, I was connected to a lot of people.
Right.
And all I could hear was, who did it? They was coming to the hospital. Who did it?
Right.
My peoples know me, who did it? And I just was like, y'all relax. And God was just talking to me.
Yeah, and just like you said, when you was talking to God and you asked him to reveal it to you, and he would do just that.
Oh, yes.
And the thing is, you have to be ready. You have to be ready. Don't ask him for something and then sit on it. Like you have to be ready. So, it just seems like you've been through a lot, and because you've been through a lot, you still, push through and try to be there for the kids, which is like, it's a good thing, and if the kids could really take heed to what you're saying, because you've been there and you've been through some things, like I said, all of them may not catch on, but a few will. And those that will, I just feel like, just keep doing what you're doing and keep pouring into them and steering them in the right direction.
Yeah.
And then when sometimes we have to realize when we can't help a person, when we're at our max or peak with them, we need to be able to connect them with other people who can get to the next level. But at the same time, they have to be showing some type of growth.
Oh yeah, I tell them as soon as I meet them. Look, I'm here on my time.
Right.
I don't have to do this. I'm not charging your mom. I'm here because I know you need help.
Right.
As long as you're doing right, I'm gonna help you. That's just what it is. You need me to pay for you to play ball, we'll do that. You need trainers, whatever you need, I'm gonna take care. If you need to talk to other people, certain situations that kids dealing with that I didn't deal with, I send them to people.
Right. Right.
So tutors, they have problems in schools. I handle that. It's just I hate to see them go to jail. It's just something with it. I know the beneficial part of them going to jail for other people, but it just do something to me. You sitting in a box rotting.
Right. Well, we're going to do a pause for the calls because I got to get this shout out here. I got to let these people know about our all black tie affair, August 21st, 2021. I'm telling y'all, like it's no other place to be, baby boy, than the Botanical Gardens, August 21st, all black tie affair. I mean, I want everybody to come out, right? Yeah, I'm gonna have to holler at you about that. I mean, I'm telling you, it's gonna be like that. And want everybody to come out with their all black on. Guys come out with their tux and fresh haircuts and all of that, smelling good. Ladies come out, hair done, heels, whatever. But everybody's coming out, and we're looking to see you guys. We only have a few more tickets left, so I ain't gonna keep talking about it because when I tell you I sold like 9 today, so we are dwindling down. So if you don't get your tickets, don't call us, don't inbox us, because we can't make shit happen. So that's why we're telling you now. Get these last couple of tickets. So I'm gonna holler at you with that about that as well. But before we wrap up, I really want to get back to what you were saying about sitting in the box. Prison isn't a reform, so they will just be sitting there. They're not going to be learning anything, doing anything. So 9 times out of 10, if they don't give them football numbers, they'll be in there sitting there thinking of another master plan.
Yeah.
So, that isn't the way to go either. It has to be some type of rehabilitation, some type of program, something. But again, it starts with you as the teenager, as the adult, as, the person that's around, continue to keep pouring in them. Like, and I just pray that when you get weak, that, God strengthens you, to be there for them, because a lot of times what I have learned is things that they say to you or me, they don't say to their parents.
Oh, they don't.
So that's an outlet that they need. Yeah. And then it puts you in a situation because sometimes they may tell you things that they don't tell them, and they say, don't tell them.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you do in that instance?
Well, I had a situation. A kid said he was going to kill himself. And his aunt called me and said, he said he want to speak to baby boy before he kill himself. At that moment, I'm saying, what am I supposed to say to him? I'm just lost. So
right,
I'm on the way, and I said, I don't want to see a dead body. And so I started to pray while I was driving. I got to the house. He had locked himself in the bathroom. And you could hear him crying. He was hollering, screaming. And I'm just sitting there like, what am I going to say to him?
Right.
I don't want to say something that's going to make him just kill himself.
That'll be on your conscience.
So I closed my eyes and I said, God, lead me. And I went and knocked on the door, called his name. I say, I'm here if you need me.
Mm-hmm.
When you get yourself together, come talk to me. And at that point, he got real quiet. And I'm saying to myself, did he kill himself? So it's real quiet for about 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And the door opens.
Mm.
And he goes in his room. He said, baby boy, come here. So when I go in the room, I say, come on, brother, give me a hug, man. The emotional part of it that people don't understand. He just wanted somebody to love him.
Wow.
And he hugged me real tight. He just started crying. I said, baby boy, why you care about me more than my own people?
Ooh.
I didn't know what to say. And I noticed it. They gave up on him. This is his reaction to you giving up on him.
Right.
And I say, I always call the kids brother. You my little brother. I say, little bro, I lose my mind if you killed yourself.
I know that's right.
I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. I say, I know your importance of being on earth. He was an athlete. He quit playing because his father wouldn't come see him.
Mm.
And it's just rough. I get emotional a lot about it because I say just the fact of just going to a football game. Save your son's life. Great athlete. And I told his people, I say, he's looking for love. I never heard a kid cry like that.
And he wants some attention.
Yeah.
You know, so it's that had to have been one of the hardest days for you. And I'm looking at you and I can see your eyes.
It's
busting up
rough.
now.
I tell people, I was like, y'all just don't understand it. I feel the kids.
Right.
You know, when you connect with them, you start to feel their pain. And it's just weird. Like when I got in that accident,
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't heard from him in months. He called the hospital room phone. And he says, baby boy, how you doing? Who is this?
Right.
He told me his name, and it shocked me. He said, man, I don't know what I'll do if you die.
Mm.
So I'm going to do better. And, you know, it brought me to tears in the hospital. I said that effect of me almost dying changed his life.
Change his life for the better.
He understood it. And I told him, I said, I'm not always going to be here to talk to you. You know, I might die one day.
Right.
I say, but you always have a chance to make it better. You know, we all make mistakes. And sometimes God take us through things to help others. You know,
I do believe that.
it's
I
major.
do believe that. I do believe that. But like I said, you're very passionate about helping the kids. If my last question to you is, if you could sit down with some officials in your city and get them to do some things, one or two things that you think the kids need or they should be doing for the kids, what would it be?
Let me see.
From the powers that be, not just your
that's a hard one there.
civic lead, but you know, your mayor, your city manager, you know, those people who you know for a fact can change some things?
I believe if they went into the neighborhoods, not just for a vote, get to know the kids and maybe understand their situation, maybe care a little more, then maybe get out of that agenda that's set for us. And as I always say, the agenda was never for a black man or black woman to be successful. So I believe.
But we're changing that narrative.
We start to wake up.
What the hell they thought? Yeah.
And I always told people, it takes a king to make a change. You can't just, I'm here. I say when a king is in charge, he sees something happening in his village. He makes a stand. He's heard.
Right.
Martin Luther King made his voice known and heard across the country. When you see your kids dying, say something. Just, I don't care if you get on news and just say, okay, now that's enough.
Right.
But for you not to say nothing and
don't have no town hall meetings or anything.
Everything is about money. That's the meetings.
Okay, well then, why the police can't do like they did back in the day, go in the neighborhood?
They scared.
Of course they're gonna be scared because one,
they are scared.
They looking at them as the opposition, right?
Yeah.
So, you're coming into our neighborhood. So yeah, of course they're gonna be scared. They don't want you there. But once they see that your presence is there, it's gonna slow up some activities. Point blank, period.
If you go back into 1992 and 1995 in Portsmouth, we had the highest murder rate. I believe this one took the highest in 2020. But the police chief, the feds, and the city council came up with a plan. Mm-hmm. We put the police in the neighborhoods.
You have to, and I don't want to hear, you don't have. That's if you're trying to get some results.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not trying to get no results and you're trying to keep things going where they're going, and then it's going to get even worse, then we can keep playing it how y'all playing it. But one thing about here on Wait Again a Minute, like we're unapologetic and we're unfiltered. So we're not going to sit and sugarcoat anything for anybody. Shit that needs to be uncovered will be uncovered.
Thank you.
Point blank, period. So put the police back in the neighborhoods. If they are afraid, don't want to go, sit their ass, put them on administrative duty, or put them in the schools.
See how simple that is. I said that, and they told me I was crazy. I said, so what back then? Now we had some. Portsmouth was known to have 24 of the most dangerous criminals on the East Coast. Huh. So if that worked with them. Now, you got neighborhoods being shot up every night. I have always told them, I don't know nobody that will shoot up anything in front of the police.
Yeah, unless you retarded.
Yeah, you just telling them, take me to jail.
Yeah.
So back in the day, we had relationship with the police. The police would bring us things, give us candy and stuff. That's why I got that going in the neighborhood with the candy. The police. So I say, when you build a relationship with the police, it's a respect level.
Right.
I also so-and-so over there, we gotta chill out.
Yeah.
So now with you not having the police presence, and they say they don't have enough police, we had things back in the day, they blocked off exits. You had one way in and one way out. They had cameras. All that stuff is like, you just letting it. So at some point, we thinking they want this to happen.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, because I don't care what you're saying. I go off of actions.
Nah.
You can tell me all day long, oh yeah, Gam, it's raining. I go outside. I'm like, oh, it must be on the other side of the street because I don't see or feel no rain. So it's, but I just feel like if I was in Portsmouth, like we would have to get some people who aren't afraid to have conversation with people, because you have a lot of people that sit and talk at home.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to putting in that work, nobody wants to put in that work. They want to talk behind people.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's time out for all of that. You got to be willing to get down there and do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Because you have kids. Like, I don't have any kids, but I have one niece and four nephews. Mm-hmm. So I don't want somebody to do something to them, because I'm telling you, I don't care how old a child is, it's going to be some issues.
Yeah.
So, it's like I just feel like things that we can control, let's control it. Let's do it. Things that we can't, we give it to somebody that actually can. But if we're not putting our best foot forward and trying to rectify problems, then it's just going to get worse. Yeah. Until they run up on one of their white ass, and then it's going to be an issue.
That's all I say. I said, now, these shootings take place in dominant black areas.
Right.
You get one shooting out of one of them other neighborhoods, and what happens?
National Guard out there. It's going to be a mess.
So I say to myself, agenda, we make money off the bad kids.
That's crazy.
Why is it that you have a juvenile detention center in another city that all the kids go to, Chesapeake?
Mm-hmm.
Who fills that detention center? Portsmouth kids.
I'm telling you, I used to work at one of the jails in Portsmouth. I ain't gonna call the name. But when I tell you, like, Portsmouth is off the chain. They off the chain. I mean, even down to the officers and just everybody. And it's so crazy, because I was telling Miss Go Getter, which is one of the cast members, that down to the politicians. I was like, they ruthless as hell down there. Like, it's no way. It's no way.
That's why I don't have no filter when it comes to them. I know a lot of them. I know a lot of them, and I say it's no friendship when it comes to this political stuff.
Right.
You in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to say so. Like, I don't have no badge and
right.
cops. I can't go get the cops and say, look, let's go out this neighborhood. And you have the power, and not yet. I give them they say, baby boy, you got to give them a chance. What do you mean? It's been 6-7 months. Well, he ain't said one word about a murder.
Right.
And I say, when that 7-year-old got killed, I cried so bad.
You might have to step back, baby boy, because you gonna mess around and make yourself sick.
Last week, one of the young boys that I know was murdered. And I did a live about it.
Mm-hmm.
I say he was a great athlete. His people was trying to get him on my basketball team.
Okay.
And when it comes to my basketball team, I don't care if you get in trouble. We gonna fix that. I run my boys. You get in trouble in school, the whole team running.
Okay.
That's how we function. We brothers.
Yeah, we're a team. Yeah.
One team. And so a lot of the parents,
one sound, one band.
Yeah, they love what I do, because they say a lot of the kids stop getting in trouble in school because they know I'm gonna find out, and you come to practice. Oh, y'all running for about 30 minutes.
They gonna hold each other accountable.
Yeah, they looking at you like, what you doing? And so I don't look at the trouble. I look at ways of fixing it. And I say to myself, that's a young man that could have did something with his life. He has no chance now because he's murdered. What did the city do?
Nothing.
Now they had these meetings. Call for all these meetings. I ain't going to no meeting. Ain't nothing to talk about. Y'all have the power to do something. Here you go. We're gonna fix the rec. We're gonna do this with the rec center. We gonna do this and do that. I said, listen, we at stage 4 cancer in Portsmouth.
Ooh, terminal.
All y'all doing is medicating it for it to feel better.
So basically what you're saying is y'all in hospice status. Y'all, I'm not laughing, y'all, but I'm just saying, like,
you putting a Band-Aid over a cancer patient.
Right.
It don't work.
That ain't gonna work.
So I told him, I have been saying it for a while. Y'all have to stop this war before you bring in a program. You can't go to a kid and say, I got this program for you, and he's scared for his life. I got to protect my mama, my little brothers and sisters, and me. You have made it known that y'all not going to protect the streets. So now it's in my hands.
Right.
And so I tell people, I have conversation with kids. And when you're telling me this, what am I supposed to do? You know, it's in your mind. I have to have a gun.
Yeah, it's a way. We're gonna have to fix that, and it's just not. The unfortunate thing is just not Portsmouth kids. No. It's all around. It's just that you see it more because you are a resident of Portsmouth. But we could talk all day long. I mean, you know, we're gonna have to have you back. This time I think we probably come your way so we can be out in the elements of what's going on in Portsmouth.
Come in the neighborhood.
But I definitely appreciate you stopping by. Like, you know, you have enlightened me more than I could even sit here and really discuss. But, you know, I'm going to keep you guys in my prayers because you definitely have something on your hands.
Thank you.
Then if you don't have, you know, the right team around you and the right people in place to help you guys, it's like it's everybody against you, and that's not, you already outnumbered.
Yeah.
So it's just unfortunate. But before I go, I want to let you guys know that you can catch us live every Thursday on YouTube. We are live. You can also see us on Facebook and Instagram. Also ebny.tv. You can hear us Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. on Powered by Virginia Radio, as well as you can hear us on iHeart, Pandora, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all the podcasts. Anywhere you can think of, Wait Again Minute is there. And again, we want to thank you for, you know, coming up the road, hollering at us and letting us know what's going on in Portsmouth and how passionate you are. And again, you know, I want to commend you for the job that you are doing, and don't stop, you know, even when people, you know, are not rocking with you, you know, but you definitely need some soldiers with you because you cannot do it alone.
No,
you cannot do it alone. So that, you know, I would just tell you, you know, get with God about. That's the one to go to.
He leads me.
And he'll make sure that he put those people around you in place and move those mountains for you. Oh, yeah. Don't forget, guys, we have a few more tickets left for the All Black Tie Fair, August 21st. It's going to be the hottest event of the year. I'm telling y'all, it's going to be. And I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you facts. It's going to be the hottest event of the year. So with that being said, we're going to get out of here. We're going to make sure that you guys tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. on YouTube. We are live. We are back tomorrow as well for our regular episode. So again, baby boy, I appreciate you. Is there any last words that you would like to say?
I want to thank y'all for the invite. Fathers, get involved in your kids' life if you're not. Y'all stay prayed up, man. We're going to get through this. God has a plan. That's all I can say to you. God has a plan for us all. So, you know.
And with that being said, when God has a plan, that's just where it's going to be, no matter what our plan is.
Yeah, that's it.
So with that being said, good night.